Hi, this is Margo. This is Saturday evening, June the 15th, 2019, 7:23 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. Before we get into the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that struck just north of New Zealand this afternoon, I wanted to show this tropical cyclone Vayu just off the coast of India. I've not been reporting on this, but I was looking at it today, and here's what it did. It kind of skimmed by. It didn't really, the brunt of it did not go over mainland. So here it is from the 12th coming up, and here it is on the 13th. And then here it is on the 14th, and it's moving away from India, and then here it is today. So it's moving out into this Arabian Sea, maybe over towards Oman, I don't know. But it looks really strange to me. Look at how this cloud is. It just doesn't look normal. Look at it. The way, I don't know if it's being manipulated or what, but it just does not look like a normal one of these cyclone pictures. I don't know what to say about it. It just looks so strange. It looks like a starburst or something, and we normally don't see something like this. When we see these cyclones, it's more rounded. The shapes of the arms are more rounded. See, and each day it was. I mean, I've shown pictures of cyclones and hurricanes before, and this just doesn't look right. That is just so odd. So I had to show that. And I've got a report from this is AccuWeather.com. This is from today on Cyclone Vayu. It says it spares India coast a direct hit, but may bring some pre-monsoon rain to Delhi. And I've got the sound turned off, and we'll play a little of this video. And you can see it was blowing all those containers or whatever those are. Look, it's blowing the truck. So we'll just briefly cover this. After the western India state of Gujarat escaped the worst of Vayu, a weakened state of the cyclone may eventually bring some rain to parts of northwestern India, where the monsoon remains sluggish to arrive. Cyclone Vayu took a sharp turn to the west, sparing Gujarat from a direct hit from the strongest cyclone to threaten the region in 20 years. Vayu remains a very severe cyclonic storm with its strength equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane in the Atlantic or Eastern Pacific Oceans. Vayu will reverse course and push back into Gujarat and into northwestern India later this weekend and into early this upcoming week. So they're anticipating that it's going to come back in. So we'll be following this now that strange image caught my eye. And they've evacuated 300,000 people, and stuff ahead of this storm. Says, however, Vayu will be significantly weaker by this time, and it's expected to be no stronger than a depression when it reaches Gujarat. Seas will remain too dangerous for boaters and swimmers to enter through the end of this weekend. The combination of the weakened state of Vayu and another disturbance will deliver rounds of showers and thunderstorms from Gujarat to parts of Rajasthan, northwestern Madhya Pradesh, and the National Capital Region. A significant amount of rain is not anticipated, but residents will have to remain alert for local downpours, lightning dangers, isolated damaging winds, and blowing dust. However, the rain will be a welcome sight, with the monsoon projected to be delayed well beyond its normal start date. So we can see the arms of the cyclone that's how we expect. That was from the 13th. So then they go on talking about the cyclone season and on and on. So I'll leave the link below. Flights were halted on Gujarat on Thursday, and nearly 300,000 people were evacuated ahead of the cyclone. Power was cut to 560 villages, and numerous tree damage occurred in Gujarat, according to the Times of India. But it says the most destructive winds and torrential rain remained just offshore, so that was fortunate. So I'll do a follow-up on that in the next, as we watch this come through. Now, look at this. This is what's been going on in the South Pacific. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So we're showing 303 earthquakes worldwide of all magnitudes in the last 24 hours, and of those, 40 are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So I have an article. Well, first of all, we'll just start. Okay, I have this article from News Hub from New Zealand. Powerful quake hits the Kermadec, no tsunami threat to New Zealand. A strong earthquake in the Kermadec Islands region won't cause a tsunami that'll reach New Zealand, civil defense says. The magnitude 7.2 quake struck 949 kilometers northeast of Whakatane at 10:55 a.m. It was 10 kilometers deep. Well, that's the default range. I don't know that it was really 10 kilometers, but it wasn't very deep. If a tsunami has been generated in this location, it's not likely to arrive in New Zealand for at least 2 hours, and that was at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And then they issued an update saying there's no tsunami threat to New Zealand, and then they called it following the 7.0 magnitude Kermadec Islands region earthquake. But there was the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said waves forecast less than 30 centimeters high could potentially reach New Zealand and a number of islands in the region, including New Caledonia and Fiji. And the tsunami warning on USGS said within 300 kilometers of the epicenter, so the Kermadec Islands would see a slight rise in the waves, in the tide, or something like that. So not huge, in fact, and it's kind of surprising, but anyway, then they've had some aftershocks. Now, on here it is on Volcano Discovery, they registered it as a 7.2 earthquake. It originally came in as a 7.4, and then I think USGS downgraded it to 7.2, and yeah, 7.2. It's 103 kilometers northeast of L'Esperance Rock, New Zealand, on Saturday, June the 15th, 2019. And it was at 22:55 UTC time. And it was at 10:55 New Zealand time. So it was this morning. They're saying 34.4 kilometers deep. Nearest volcano is Curtis Island, 123 kilometers away. Estimated released energy, 59.5 atomic bombs. Now, it's just incredible to me that there would be that much energy released and so little damage. I mean, there's like no damage and very little as far as the waves and things like that. It's because of where it was. It was in the ocean, and the ocean buffers everything. And so I was looking to see the I Felt It reports here. This person from Woodside, they were 1,957 kilometers from the epicenter, did not feel it. Russia did not feel it. And I went to Google Translate and translated this message from the Russian Russian person that posted, said, "Without shaking or any vibration, I slept when I received your message. I woke up. I did not feel it. The earthquake was very strong. Magnitude 7+. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Please remain safe. Thank you very much." So that was from Russia. From then at Napier, very weak shaking. I could feel it when I was playing on my Xbox. Then this one came in from San Francisco, not felt. So that comment from San Francisco doesn't have anything to do with this earthquake, really. So now let's move on to our earthquake report, but before we go there, let's check in at the Oroville Dam and the lake level and see what it is. At 7 o'clock tonight Pacific time, it's risen to 894.5 feet. The inflow is just over 7,000 CFS, and the outflow is just under 5,000. So it's been rising. Yesterday, from midnight to midnight, it went up 0.21 feet. And at midnight today, it was at 894.22. So let's see how much it's gone up. It's gone up 0.28 feet since midnight. Now let's move on to our earthquake report. They've had some aftershocks down there too, so I'm gonna see what else is about to come off the map. That one is at 8:45. That's fine. So we have time to start wherever we want. So let's just go down here to the South Pacific and check all these out in detail. So here's what's going on. In the last 24 hours, there was a 4.8 south of the Fiji Islands at 11:33 this morning, and all these times I'm giving you are Pacific time because that's my time zone. It was quite deep, 506 kilometers deep, and the deeper they are, the more they will shake the tectonic plates around the Earth. You'll see movement around the Earth. And next was a 6.1 near Ohonua, Tonga at 2:56 this afternoon. And then the 7.2 near L'Esperance, New Zealand, came in at 3:55 this afternoon, 34.4 kilometers deep. Then here was an aftershock of 5.3 that came in at 4:07 this afternoon. And then a 5.0 aftershock at 5 o'clock. And another 5.0 aftershock at 6:29. All around the same depth. Around 36 kilometers deep. So it's all at the same place right here. So this is right on this red line, and we've talked about how this is a hot zone for earthquakes, and they're concerned about a big one happening down here, and how it could break up the island. And see this tectonic plate line, it goes right across this top of this southern island and down on the other side. And right here on the east side of the northern island, in the sediments, are a whole bunch of methane clathrates stored up. So an earthquake could release those. I mean, anything could happen. So that's the big news earthquake-wise today, so far. Then, here off the coast of Japan was a 4.8 near Kamashi at 9:47 last night. And then on land, here's a 4.3 near Akodari, Kuranwa, Mujan, Afghanistan at 12:52 this morning, 107 kilometers deep. Then down here, in between Madagascar and Mozambique, right next to this little island, this is Mayotte Island. There's a volcano there. It's a 4.8 came in the ocean here near Pamanzi Mayotte at 8:45 last night. See? This is a highly active area here. Now let's come on into South America. So 3.4 near Villa Dolores, 4.9 Coquimbo, 4.8 Tinogasta, and a 4.4 Iapal, Chile. And here's a 4.5 near Atocha, Bolivia. So there's those. Those aren't humongous, but it's definitely showing movement. So I think that's all of the international earthquakes. Now we'll move on over to 2.5 magnitude. To all magnitudes to finish up. Here at Hawaii we have 7 today. I'll call them off. 2.3, that's at Kilauea. 2.3 Pahala. 1.9 Napupu. 2.1 Pahala. 1.8 Kilauea. 1.7 Kilauea, and 2.1 Pahala. So here it's clustering around the crater, and in 2 of these are in the crater of Kilauea, and this one's on the side. Now in the Caribbean, we've got 11 here today. I'll call them off. 2.6, 1.8, 1.3, 1.6, 2.9, 2.8, 1.5, 2.4, 2.7, 3.1, that's the largest one, and 2.6. Now let's look at these right here. So this was right on the little island, La Plaine Dominica. It's a 2.9 at 12:36 this morning, and then the 2.8 just on the coast there. That came in at 12:39, so just a few minutes later. So movement going on there. Now in Alaska, we're showing 86 here today. And of those, 11 are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So that's an uptick in the number of earthquakes that are of a higher magnitude. So I'm just going to call these off. 2.7 Kobuk. Well, let's just zoom in. It looks like Kobuk has the majority of them. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Kobuk has 6 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. And they had a 4.5. That's the highest one, or the largest one. That came in at 11:31 last night. So let's go to all magnitudes for Kobuk. So this is we're definitely seeing an uptick here. There are 31 here today. So of those 31, we've got 6 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. There's a 2.7, 4.5, 3.1, 2.5, 3.5, and 2.5. All right there. And then these are considered Kobuk too. And so another 3.3 and a 2.5. So that's all considered Kobuk area. So there are 4 up there, it looks like. And then we've got 3 up on the north end near Koktovik, 1.8, 2.6, and a 2.1. So that's higher magnitude than what we normally see. And then coming down through the state, here was a 3.1 near Nick, Fairview, and 3.2 near Kodiak. Look, we're seeing some up by Fairbanks here today. Here's a 2.1 by it. So here's this 3.1 Nick, so that's not far from Anchorage. There's a 2.2 Valdez, and so on. So we're seeing a few over here in this little armpit. Here's another ice quake, a 1.4 near Cape Yakataga. .2 Redoubt volcano, and so on. So you can see them, just that line just goes all the way down and then out. It just extends across for this Aleutian Island chain. Now in the lower 48, we're showing 184 earthquakes here today. I forgot to get the tremor map pulled up. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, let's start over here. This is in the New Madrid hazard area, 2.3 near Manila, Arkansas at 8:27 last night. And we've got a whole bunch here in Oklahoma. We've got 9 here. I'll call them off. 2.4, 2.6, 2.1, 1.8, 1.9, 1.9, and 2.0, 2.3, and 2.0. So the largest was this 2.3 near Tuttle. So that's still showing a lot of activity. Then down here in Texas to the southeast of San Antonio, 3.6 near Poth, Texas at 6:07 tonight, 5 kilometers deep. So that's probably not enough to do damage. They might have felt it, but it's probably not big enough to do damage. Then over here, we've got another one in Colorado, a 2.5 near Alamosa East, Colorado at 1:18 this morning. Nothing in Utah. Nothing in Yellowstone. Well, that's unusual. Now it is Saturday, so we shouldn't be seeing blasts, but here's an explosion. Here's a 0.8 magnitude explosion near desert air. So they're not resting. So in the Pacific Northwest, we're seeing just those up here. So on the tremor map, now this is from yesterday, the only tremors, we're seeing 6, and they're on this northwest end of the Vancouver Island region, right up here. So I'll just call these off. Here's a 2.0 near Titan, 1.5 Intiot, 1.4 Friday Harbor, and a 1.8 near Port Angeles East. So that 2.0 is the largest one. Now let's come on down into Northern California. So we're not seeing any up here in this region near Shasta or Redding or Chico or Oroville or any of those. We are seeing one north of Pyramid Lake, a 0.6. This came in at 4:08 this morning. Then down here in the Reno area, here's a 0.5 at Truckee and a 1.0 at Truckee. And here's a 0.2. This is in the Mount Rose area. So, moving on down into Nevada. Looks like this one wants to be on the map, a 0.6 at Bridgeport. So, we'll get that one off. We've got 9 here near Hawthorne and Smith Valley. There's a little cluster right here at Smith Valley. We've got like 5 or 6 there clustered. These are small, these are under 1s. And then one at Urington, and one south of Walker Lake, and one to the southeast of Walker Lake. So those are small. And then down here in southern Nevada, we're seeing 3. Here's a 0.2 at Nellis Air Force Base, and a 1.3 Beatty, and a 2.7 at Nellis Air Force Base. So that's the highest one. So I don't know what's going on there. You never know. You never ever know. Now at Mammoth Lakes we're showing 21 here today. So let's see if any of these are 2.5 magnitude or higher. There was a 2.8. That's the largest one we've seen in a while here. So 21. So that's an uptick. And these are ones, like here's a 1.9, that's a higher one. Here's the 2.8. Here's a 2.0. Here's a 1.8. And then the rest of them were 1s and under. So they're clustering right here. Looks like all in the same place. Here's a minus 0.3 at Big Pine. Here's a 1.1 Bodfish, 0.7 Little Lake, and minus 0.1 Cyril's Valley. So now let's go into this Coso Junction region. There's 16 here today. That's definitely an uptick. So let's get the largest one. 3.2. That's definitely an uptick. So that was in this group here. Right here is our 3.2. So we got 12 right here in this one little spot, all stacked up. And 16 in this whole area. Here's a 2.1, that's the next highest, and the rest are 1s and under. So definitely movement there. Now in Southern California and Baja, we've got 73 here today. Oh my gosh, that's an uptick. Well, let's see what's going on. The highest one was a 3.0 at Yucaipa at 10:25 last night, right on this red line. That's the San Andreas fault line, right here. But let's start down here in Baja. 1.8 near Delta, 2.0 Ocotillo, and a 2.0 Ocotillo. And then here's a 1.2 Brawley. So what was this? 73, okay. This one just came in 1.4 Lake Henshaw. So we can see they're just scattered around. Now here's Glen Avon, so this is definitely picked up. There are 45 here today, including these ones around. Look at that. There's 39 when I zoomed in, right there. So 44 there. So that's where the majority of them are. Yeah. And then there's nothing to the west of that. So we've got them mainly here. And then down here, a little cluster here. Near Idlewild. And then peppered around. So let's follow this red line up the coast. Here's a 2.6 near Coalinga, 1.3 San Ardo, 1.6 Pinnacles, 2.3 Pinnacles that just came in. And then at the geysers, we're showing 35 here today. That's kind of a more average number for them. And all of those are 2.5 magnitude or under. These are mainly under 1. There's just a couple. A few. Oh, here's a 2.0. That's the highest one, it looks like. So let's zoom out. What has come in? Look, this Coso Junction area is still rocking. See the red ones? Those are the new ones. Let's see if anything else came in that we need to look at. I think that's it. So we saw that 3.2 at Coso Junction. That came in at 6:48 tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight and hope everyone is having a good weekend and it's safe. And I do believe we are in the end times, and that's why I'm doing these earthquake reports, so that we can keep an eye on the pulse of Mother Earth and what's happening. And I recommend that everyone get their spiritual house in order while you still have time, because no one knows the day or the hour. So until next time, God bless you, go in peace, and good night.